What's up, everybody? Matt Nuzzo. We're here at Reel to talk to you about the 2021 North Reach. So my question to you is, will the North Reach 2021 be the #1 selling kite in 2021? I think it might be. I really think it might be. This kite is really freaking fun to ride. And the reason I think it's going to be kind of that #1 selling kite is that this kite does work for a huge range of people. It has, from 4 meter to 17 meter, and they all work. Like the 17 meter relaunches really well. The 8 meter, 10 meter, I mean, they're smaller kites, but they relaunch super well. Last night I was kite foiling with the 8 meter, and it was like no breeze. Like the breeze was just tanking, and there was just no breeze. And kite fell out of ran under the kite fell out of the sky a couple times. No bad habits, came back around. And it actually relaunched in maybe 8 miles an hour wind, which is kind of unheard of for a kite. So I'll go over kind of what is into it and why, but I really think that this kite might be the best selling kite in 2021 from any brands. And really, North, this kite is so awesome, you should just cancel every other kite, even though your other kites are awesome, and just make this one, because this kite is the kite that everyone should buy if you're buying a North kite. So the Reach 2021, why am I so excited about it is because in the back of my truck, I have limited space for surf gear, foil gear, kite gear, wing gear. This kite I kite surf with, I foil with, I can twin tip with, boost with, you can ride the park and unhook with if you want to do that, maybe for like my 1 session a year, ride the park. But you really can do all sports of this kite. And then it also works well for beginners, which is like, it's so hard to get that blend of like really high performance to just straight beginners. Our rep, Sean Bennett, like I was texting with him and he's like, yeah, dude, I took this, 7 out in like 40 knots the other day. It did really well. It was sick for looping. And I'm like, I'm not doing that stuff, but I watched his videos. It's like, holy cow, man. Like your rod jumping just as high as he's jumping on the Orbit. So, the Orbit obviously is their dedicated, high jumping kite. 5 strut's gonna have more of a solid frame. But for kind of like your intermediate all-around rider that wants to do multi-sport, the Reach really covers a ton of ground. So, the Reach, like, if you want a kite that you can just go kiteboarding with, any sport, this is gonna be it. For foiling, it's 3 struts instead of single struts, so it's gonna be a little heavier. It's not quite as easy, it doesn't fly in quite as light a breeze as, a single strut kite does. Wave riding, I've ridden it, I haven't ridden it a ton of sessions, but enough sessions to be like, man, this kite works just as well as almost any wave kite I've ridden on the market. It drifts really well and just stays really connected. When you loop it, it doesn't like yoke you off your edge. For foiling and for wave riding, that's really important. Twin tipping, it jumps plenty high for me. And if a guy like Sean saying like, dude, this thing freaking loops like a champ, like I'm really impressed, then I'll take his word for it. So let's go over a few of the features about the Reach. Like I said, it comes in a huge range of sizes. One size, one kite kind of fits all categories, which is pretty rare. Like a lot of people make kites that they want to be like this, but none really actually fit that bill that they excel at a lot of areas. The bar with the North bar, that's one of my favorite bars on the market. I kind of use the North bar for almost all kites that I use. Just kind of clean, simple work, strong, great lines, really high quality setup. And that's what North's doing well, is they're making high quality products. So a few of the things that they did with the 2021 is they took out a ton of the Dacron. You can see it here, it's like a darker color here. A lot of that stuff was Dacron in the past. That's double layer ripstop. Same thing across the trailing edge. They basically like made Dacron everywhere. Like, let's make it strong and put Dacron everywhere. And it's like, well, it just makes it kind of heavy and makes it dopier, where when you take a lot of that Dacron out, you get the strength from the double ripstop, but you don't have that, you don't have that heavier weight of all the Dacron. They do put these silly darts in it. I've said this before, I just hate these things in a kite, like, I think it's extra weight, this thing doesn't flutter at all, so I guess they work, but to me it's kind of like, make the kite so it doesn't flutter without these things. You guys can do it, you're North, you can do it. The trailing, the attachments, pigtail attachments and stuff, really simple. Same pigtails, they have kook-proof knots, but the pigtails and knots and all that stuff are, basically the pigtails from the bar and from the kite. All the pigtails are going to be the same whether it's knots, same length. So you don't, if you get a pack of pigtails as an extra and one of these pigtails messes up, you could just swap it right in there from the bar or the kite. They are kook-proof, so you won't set them up forward or backwards. The bridle material, they're using that kind of really high-end fly line, so it's, just flies better. It's just more efficient. The they've like put all these Kevlar reinforcements, and just like, you know, the build quality when you look at this compared to a lot of other kites out there, like they are paying attention to detail with build quality. This is right up there with the best of any kite that I've seen as far as just manufacturing quality. You can tell when you look at the seams, you can tell how they dead end stuff. Like, I don't know anything about engineering or kite manufacturing, but I've seen enough kites in my day, open up enough freshies to say like, these things are made really well. And then you look at like simple stuff like the bag. Like, the bag has plastic zippers on it that are high quality plastic zippers. So one, they're not gonna blow out. Two, they're not gonna seize up and rust. And just like, you're not gonna go to try and open your kite the next season and they'll be all like corroded together. And then the bag size is oversized, so you're not like trying to, you know, pack the thing tiny. If you just want to, you know, do what I do, is just stuff the thing in a bag, you know, roll it up easy and stuff it in the bag. You know, like it's really easy to do that. So Reach 2021, very impressed. They're liking them in the school. They're liking them. All the customers that have gotten them have been like, dude, thank you so much. This kite's insane. You know, anyone that I've talked to that's been riding the Reach has just been like, wow, this kite is really, really impressive. So they took a great kite with the 2020 Reach, lightened it up, improved some of the, you know, characteristics throughout the entire range, so you get a really balanced line. So you get a really balanced feel from 4 meter through to 17 meter, which is super important because you want to have that same feel going kite to kite. So overall, really impressed, and I love this color blue too. I'm stoked they put that one in there. My wife likes the green and pink one, and then they do have a red one, which is kind of pinkish, but you know, that one looks pretty cool too. I got another one of those as a 6 meter. So these kites, really awesome. It really is that one kite for anyone. If you want to have a great kite that's going to do everything, I would say this is the one kite that Jack of all trades does it all for you. North Reach 2021. Want to get more reviews? Go to realwatersports.com. Have more questions? Well, what North kite's right for you? If the Reach is going to suit you in your range, give us a call at the shop. 252-987-6000. See you guys on the water.